Ladies and gentlemen, is Rigathi Gachagua destroying the united opposition without his knowledge? Because what Rigathi Gachagua is actually doing, it is destroying the united opposition, and it is as if he is assisting William Samoei Arap Ruto to kill the united opposition completely. Because the many things that Rigathi Gachagua is actually trying to do, those things are actually engineered to bring down the united opposition. But for Rigathi Gachagua, he is doing all that because he wants to be the duplicate of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Because in this nation, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, when he was alive, he was quite powerful in this nation. And Rigathi Gachagua has always been saying that he used to admire Raila Amolo Odinga so much because he was very strong politically. And that is why Rigathi Gachagua is doing all he can to make sure that he becomes the replicate of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And he knows that that is the only way he can survive in politics. But what is that doing to the united opposition and to himself as a leader? It is demeaning himself, and it is making him to look like a bully. Because if you look in the united opposition, it is Rigathi Gachagua who calls the shots. And also because Rigathi Gachagua currently, he is very powerful and he is quite influential in Mount Kenya. That is why other leaders in the united opposition, they don't want to annoy Rigathi Gachagua because they want Rigathi Gachagua to support them. For example, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka want to get the support of Rigathi Gachagua because Mount Kenya is a fort-rich region, and the person who is commanding that region, the majority, is Rigathi Gachagua. And therefore, any political individual within the circles of the united opposition, if he wants to be the president of this republic, then he must get the support of Rigathi Gachagua. And because Rigathi Gachagua knows that very clearly, that is why he is trying to call the shots. But is he doing that in the right way? Because many political analysts, they see Rigathi Gachagua as a person who is doing self-destruction and also who is destroying the united opposition. Because most of the things that Rigathi Gachagua is doing, they are making the united opposition to look bad. They are making the united opposition to be seen as people who have no capability to take this nation forward. And that is why you will find the likes of Fred Okengo Matiang'i are very careful when they are around Rigathi Gachagua. The same to Eugene Wamalwa. We don't have any political leader within the united opposition who can stand up and tell Rigathi Gachagua that, Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, here you are doing things in a wrong way. And it is quite very clear that Rigathi Gachagua is not a team builder. He looks to be a bully. in nature. And it doesn't know how to build structures which can help the united opposition to defeat William Samoei Arap Ruto. And that is the topic we are having today. I want to give you examples on how Rigathi Gachagua is destroying the side of opposition. And soon, probably, the side of opposition is going to be divided. And that will bring the end of the one-term call being brought into reality. But before I dive in and try to dissect all that, I could request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends, and if they are lovers of politics, then it's good to request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Now, let us dive into the topic of the day about how Rigathi Gachagua is actually destroying united opposition. And I will start with the current announcement that Rigathi Gachagua made. When Rigathi Gachagua was in Kariobangi, he came out and said that in the capital city of Kenya, the people who are majority there are the Kikuyu. And he had a deal with Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka that it is DCP which is going to have candidates for various political position or oppositions. For example, he said that in the capital city, DCP will have a candidate for governorship, for senatorial, for women rep, and even the 17 members of parliament. DCP will be able to field candidates in 16 constituencies, and the Wiper will actually fill only one. And this has brought a lot of heat in the side of the united opposition. And it looks like Rigathi Gachagua is actually saying that Jubilee cannot have candidates, DAP cannot have candidates, even Wiper will only have one candidate in the capital city of Nairobi. How is that possible? Is that not enough actually to defeat the united opposition? Is it not annoying to other political leaders? Because even Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka actually has come out and he has said that there is no such a deal between him and Rigathi Gachagua, that it is DCP which should fill all those political positions. So that's one thing that Rigathi Gachagua is doing wrong. And also, the second thing you remember, when Fred Okengo Matiang'i came into the united opposition, there is a time even Fred Okengo Matiang'i could not join their common rallies. That the name of Fred Okengo Matiang'i could be left out. And another time, because Fred Okengo Matiang'i didn't follow the advice of Rigathi Gachagua of actually forming a party from the Gusii Nation and using it to go to the national level. And Fred Okengo Matiang'i chose Jubilee as a political party. There is a time that Rigathi called that political party as a wheelbarrow, as being assisting the government. And he told even Fred Okengo Matiang'i that if you want to be the president, you cannot be in social media alone. You must go to the ground. Taking photos and putting them in social media, they cannot make you to be the president. And therefore, from that angle, we can say Rigathi Gachagua is very poor in team building. And actually what we need in the united opposition is team building, because if there is a division in the united opposition, it means that they cannot compete with William Samoei Arap Ruto. And hence, because Rigathi Gachagua is very poor in team building, he is actually making sure that united opposition is actually going to split into two. And that is why of late, many people, even me, I am seeing as if in the united opposition, we have two groups. We have a group which is being led by Rigathi Gachagua, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and Eugene Wamalwa. We also have another group which is being led by Fred Okengo Matiang'i, Martha Karua, and Natembeya. So already, because other political leaders within the united opposition, they are not trusting Rigathi Gachagua. That is why they are having plan B, so that if this one fails, they can actually have another what? Alternative, which can sustain them politically, but which cannot make them to win presidency. Let come 2027. And Rigathi Gachagua must understand that for them to win, they must be equals within the united opposition, and they must put heads together for them to go against William Samoei Arap Ruto. But that is not what's happening. And also, there is a time you heard that there was a deal for united opposition, that Rigathi Gachagua was going to have a half of the government if the united opposition wins. And at that time, they was saying that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka was going to be the president, and Natembeya was going to be the deputy of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And then, because Rigathi Gachagua cannot go for those posts, he was going to be given a half of the government. And that thing actually brought a lot of it within the united opposition until it was abandoned. So if the united opposition doesn't do things maturely, if Rigathi Gachagua cannot actually do things the way things are supposed to be done, he is helping President William Samoei Arap Ruto to win late come 2027. And he is actually killing the united opposition. What is actually your say about Rigathi Gachagua in that issue which I have discussed? Please drop your comments in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to pump into this YouTube channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this video to your friends. And with that, I say thank you until we meet in our next political discussion. Goodbye.